Have I not gone live? I don't know what the fuck is going on. Why do I have to press so many buttons? There's stop streaming, and there's end broadcast, so I don't know which one is which. But yeah, I mean, it's good to finally take a break, and also it's good because I got it from the highest authority. I got it from people that I really respect, who told me that I don't have to keep doing shitty open mics. So I think that's a great. If I needed a sign from anyone, it's those people that I've respected and that I got into comedy for: Joe Rogan, Tony Hinchcliffe, Brian Redband. So it's just great that these people care about me enough to tell me what to do, and that that they are helping me. So that's cool. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stop doing shitty open mics now because I can hear it from a higher authority. Even if God Himself came down and told me to stop doing open mics, I wouldn't be taking it as seriously as if Tony Hinchcliffe and Joe Rogan told me. So that's pretty cool. So I think I just started going live. I don't know. Oh my God! Nobody heard what I said before. Okay. So here's the rundown. I'm not high. I'm not tired. I'm not, what was the third one? High, tired. Fuck. I forget. God damn it. I did all this before and then I forgot to press go live or whatever. I'm not high. I'm not tired. My eyes are open. That was the third thing. I'm in a new apartment. I'm in Curtis's apartment. I have Curtis's apartment. I have access to Curtis's apartment because he's away for Christmas. He's visiting family, I think. So he gave me the keys to his place, and I'm looking after his dog. So this is his kitchen that I'm streaming from. Hopefully he doesn't mind. He is going to be the new general manager or in some sort of official capacity at the club that is opening up in Austin, Texas. So, stay tuned for that. It's a pretty cool thing. Now I'm looking after his dog, so hopefully he'll book me a lot. I will be trying to fix the audio on the dating show. It's not really my audio. It's really the Creek in the Caves audio and their soundboard that they have to get fixed. There's only so much I can do from my end. I don't know how to work their system. If they don't fix their system, then I don't know how to do it. It's not Cody, it's fuck. Now you messed me up. Curtis, not from the Yellow Rose. Yeah. Let's go, Brandon. Hilarious. I think that it's good. I have now 3 homes that I have access to. One is my van. Some people would say that's not really a home, but I can sleep in it, so I have access to that. Then I have Curtis's house that I'm in, and then I have Rachel's apartment. I have 3 places I can stay. I'm well saturated in terms of domiciles. Do you think aliens have a sense of humor? Yes, I think it's natural. I think it's a part of our consciousness. I think it's a way to find humor and fun in logic. Is Austin expensive to live? Not that expensive. The best advice Joe or Tony has given you about stand-up? Joe and Tony have recently told me to stop doing shitty open mics. And Ari Shafir has also said that was good advice that he got. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start stopping going to shitty open mics. So that's pretty cool. I couldn't have heard it from a higher authority, people I actually truly love and respect. So, I mean, if they tell me anything, I'm going to do it. So it's like pretty cool that they're giving me advice, and I'm excited to see how my stand-up changes now that I stopped doing shitty open mics. Um, the thing about shitty open mics is that the people at the shitty open mics are depressed and insecure and vicious, and they just want to see you fail or be transgressive, and they want you to see you change for whatever they have in mind to make themselves feel better, and they prevent you from being the best version of yourself. They want to just see you kowtow to whatever the energy of the room is. So it's not good to do too many shitty open mics because then you don't become your own person. You just become whatever the room needs, and then you can't transcend and be greater than the shitty room that you're in. So I'm going to stop doing the shitty open mics. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to stop doing them. It should be fun. And shitty open mics, yeah, they make you lose confidence in yourself. Bat soup, favorite meal to make. Probably ribs. I got some ribs right now. I might show you because they're right there. What's the worst emergency poop experience you've ever had in a van? It was at night at near the creek and the cave in New York City, Long Island City. It's a neighborhood in Queens that's right next to Manhattan. I tell people I used to live in Long Island City, and they're like, "Oh, that's not really New York, bitch. It's closer to New York City than you've ever been." Long Island City is like right by Manhattan. You couldn't get closer to Manhattan. It's just the name of the neighborhood is Long Island City. They think it's Long Island. They think it's on Long Island, which it is, but it's very, very close to Manhattan. So I was in Creek in the Cave in the van. So then I was in the van, and then I had to take a shit. And so I went outside, and I went to an empty parking lot that's right next to the creek, and I laid down some plastic, and I took a shit in the middle of like 5 a.m. Hopefully no one saw me. I took a shit out there, and then flies were instantly on top of it. I picked it up like it was dog shit in a plastic bag and threw it away, but I really had to go, and I was looking around, and then I took a shit in the parking lot outside the van, which is very, very safe. If Joe says jump, do it. Exactly. He has outsized power. It's crazy, and how amazingly competent he is. So if he says something, then I'll probably listen. And I think it's great. Like, they told me what to do, and I'm excited to follow their orders because, individual autonomy is good, but also listening to people who have experience and done it before is good too. And I'm not that entitled. I don't think that just doing everything the way that I want to do it is the best thing in the world. I love listening to other people. I just choose who to listen to, and I choose Joe Rogan and Tony Hinchcliffe like most people have. Most people don't have a personal relationship with them, though. So, yeah, now that I do, there's no way that I wouldn't listen to them. Have you ever posted jokes on Reddit? If so, what was your best one? Probably my communist one. It's the third highest post on our stand-up comedy. Check it out. Everyone can be an a-hole, but not everyone can be funny. I mean, some people can't be a-holes, like perpetually nice people. But yeah, being funny is hard. Do you think aliens know? Have you ever made a meme? I have made a meme. Do you have water in the van? Still no van tour? I know, I need to do a van tour. It's just a pain in the ass. I'll do it soon. How long you been in the game? The game of life, I've been in 32 years. The game of comedy, 8 years. The game of living in Austin, 9 months. The game of being on Kill Tony, 5 months. It's just been a great time. I've been doing a lot of stuff recently. This move to Austin has really been beneficial. I was in LA for 3 months, and then in November, I saw the numbers going up, or October, I saw the numbers going up and COVID numbers spiking. So I was like, I bounced. I moved to the middle of the forest, the desert. Let me turn this down so I don't look so fucking white. I moved to the middle of the desert, started living there. And it was great. Lived there for 4 months, then went to Yuma, Arizona in January. Watched the January 6th insurrection from there. I guess it wasn't 4 months, like 2 months, 3 months. And then after Yuma, I started living in the desert more, so maybe 4 months total. In March, I moved to Austin. So from November to March, that's about 4 months, plus a month in Yuma, Arizona, living with my friend Rebecca. So I hung out with Rebecca for a month in her little casita. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. What was the question? How many years in the game? I mean, it was pretty crazy living in the van, doing crazy shit in there. 4 months. Then I don't know what I was talking about. This is just what I sound like. If you want to watch Blue's Clues and listen to someone, oh, hi guys, then you can watch that. Riley, I would love to do a podcast with Riley again. He just doesn't, I don't know. It takes a lot of effort for me to get him to do anything. Do you feel grounded? I guess I do feel grounded. So talking to Paige? No, I'm not talking to her. I don't think she's a very nice person. You ever go poon hunting with Dalia and Callan? Yeah, that's such an old school. That's like how people in the 90s thought about pussy. Hey man, you just gotta go out and get it. Yeah, pussy. Yeah, it's like Mountain Dew. They're like treating pussy like it's fucking Nickelodeon show. Just woohoo, oh fun, wow, just methed out. It was very meth energy in the 90s. So I don't believe in that. I believe in sex being a beautiful, organic, beautiful thing. And I mean, I think that it's more like the 70s and the hippies kind of stuff. Where'd the dog go? Hopefully the dog's not doing something crazy. Asian Lives Matter. But yeah, I mean, I just think that they're a victim of the culture that they were in, but I hope that they're better now, and I think that they're very cool guys in other ways, so I'm sure that they can figure out the sex part of their life. Janice, Red Band's girlfriend, is very beautiful and nice, and that's all I'll say about that, because you shouldn't think about other people's girlfriends too much. Is the van a full conversion? I mean, it's pretty full to me. It's got everything I want. I really need to do a van tour. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it by myself if I have to. I'll figure it out. No Lives Matter. How do I shower? Gyms. I'm not lined up to go on Joe Rogan's podcast, but I'm ready at a minute's notice. I'll drop everything to go on it, obviously. I'd probably get like 20,000 more followers at least. Do you enjoy watching adult movies? Oh, do I? I love tickling. I love forced orgasm porn. I love Japanese bondage porn. I love Japanese porn. Japanese people make really good porn. The only thing is they have to blur out the vagina, which I'm not a fan of. But the Japanese are really good at being creepy, and like they take real world situations and then they add sex to it. I feel like American porn is just like overproduced and like, oh, we're having sex. We're really good at this. We're porn stars. And in Japan, there's just like people that are fucking. And I think like American porn is like they try to go extreme. A lot of it is like shit that white dudes do to each other during sleepovers. And it's just like trying to see what the dirtiest thing you can do to someone is. And I'm not really that big a fan of that kind of pornography or sex. I would rather, slowly violate people's boundaries in a consensual way, of course, with someone who enjoys having their boundaries stepped upon by the ways that they enjoy it. But it's like Japanese massage porn. They're in a massage, and then slowly they get them horny, and then they start finger blasting them. So it's just cool. Would you really? I don't. Yeah, I don't have to read all the comments. He says, "Shower, does he ever join you?" How the fuck are you guys spelling this? This is like French, where they have d'accord with the D apostrophe accord. It's like they combine. You got Martin Mantis Stillman just combined all of his words together. I like a blurry gash, says Autism Powers. You should know, you're autistic too. I don't want to see the imperfection of the human vagina. I love it when women get vagina surgery to make their vaginas look more like fucking, I don't know, like a goddamn open wound. No, I'm just kidding, obviously. That's disgusting. I don't think you should get vagina surgery. I think you should instead get a boyfriend who can learn how to love your disgusting vagina, because a lot of people can love a lot of disgusting vaginas. You just got to find a guy that's willing to do that for your particular kind of vagina. And some guy might even really love all the flaps. So I don't think you should get vaginal surgery. Like, all men have penile surgery because they want it to look a certain way. I love the UFC. I've been watching the UFC for a while. I've also participated in the sport of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Any UFO sightings? Nope. There are weird lights. The military is always there, bombing shit. It's crazy. I drove through a military bombing site. They're like, don't go off the road or we have the right to bomb you. So that's pretty crazy. How are you even seeing right now? It's because my eyes are pointed downwards. So the camera's a little high. So if I'm looking right at you, this is how big my eyes are when I'm reading the chat. So maybe this can give you a sense of how high the camera is. What's your thoughts on pegging? I think pegging is just like some white boy at a sleepover thing. They just want to try a lot of shit. I was a few inches higher, they look less high. Well, I mean, is that important? You guys need me to be sexy to listen to me ramble about how I love Japanese porn? Let me see how high I can get it. Wow, is that better? We love the mud flaps. I mean, pegging is nice, I guess, if you find the right woman to do it, because it's you don't always want to be the one fucking. I mean, in a truly genderless society, we'd be doing both, and there's like a beauty in both human experiences in terms of fucking and getting fucked. And I don't think that one person should only do one thing, but I don't think that people in our society are mature enough to peg dang me. I don't trust them enough to stick my dick in them for most of the time. I don't think that I want them inside me. I don't think that they have the intellectual or emotional intelligence to treat me right in a pegging situation. But I think that if I was in a truly like utopian society, I would love to get pegged sometime. But I just don't. I don't think that this society that I'm a part of is worthy of pegging me. I am a goddamn Roman senator, after all. I guess I'm just a fucking arrogant little shit who thinks I'm better than getting anally stimulated. But yeah, I mean, I hope to one day find a woman who is willing to fuck me in the asshole, and yeah, and maybe then then I could feel, and then she couldn't be like weird about it, like, oh yeah, I pegged him, now I own you. There's some very harmful ideas about sex that people hold subconsciously that I wouldn't want to be a part of. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to find someone who loves to peg me. I can't do stand-up in Korean, mostly because I haven't tried, but I would love to try. And I hope to do it one day because I love Koreans and I love speaking Korean. If you didn't live in Austin, where would you choose to live? Probably Los Angeles, because I would be trying to do comedy. But if I wasn't trying to do comedy, maybe Denver, maybe in the middle of the desert. Um, yeah, I think living in the middle of the desert is cool. Um, Peggy, I'm getting pegged by Peggy. Uh, hmm. Ever been with Asian women? I've been with multiple Asian women, but not at the same time. I met one girl on Tinder who we had an informal thing with, and I would come over every now and then, and we'd have sexual intercourse, and she was not that attractive. She looked like a goblin or like a frog. She had no chin, and she was kind of wide. And then I was late to go fuck her one day, and she was like, "I can't do this. I feel disrespected because you're late, and I just can't let myself feel like this anymore." And honestly, I thought that was a very mature thing to say on her part, but also I thought it was kind of fucked up that she thought that me being late was a sign of disrespect. I think that it's kind of fucked up that everyone is like in this time thing. Like, because we go to school and then we go to work, we think that showing up on time is this very important thing. But if you go to Spain or Brazil, they have a very more looser definition of time. And they're like, you're supposed to be here at 6 p.m. If you're not here at 6 p.m., then I don't know what to do with myself. I have no other life to live besides waiting on other people to show up. And if I can't rely on you like a machine, then I don't want to be with you. But I mean, even though she thought that way, which I disagree with, I thought that she handled it very maturely and just cut me out of her life without any drama. Then I just faded into the night. So that was a pretty painless breakup. So that was an Asian woman. But yeah, I hate this time thing because I live in a van. I do comedy. I show up on time for the comedy show, but if it's just to like hang out with a friend and I show up at 7 instead of 6, and you're just at home doing nothing anyways, it's not like we're supposed to meet at like 7 hours away and you drove all that way or something. Or you're sitting in a restaurant for an hour by yourself. If it's just like you were just going to be home anyways and I show up an hour late, then do something else. Do the dishes, do your laundry, write a little bit. So, So yeah, I mean, I just don't like if someone is late when I'm hanging out and I have other things to do, then I'll do that. Like I have plenty of stuff I could be doing, so I'm never mad if someone's late unless like I drove somewhere else to be there and I don't have access to the things that I could do. But everyone has a phone now and whatever, you can do anything anywhere. So I don't know. I don't think that being late is that big of a deal. Uh, Maybe hit them up and let them know. Just like a text or something. Hey, I opened for Joe Rogan now. Don't you feel bad that you wanted to stop fucking me? I honestly don't feel the need to do that. I don't want to invite that kind of negative energy in my life. I don't want to start texting exes or people who rejected me on Tinder to be like, you done fucked up, bitch. Because then, it's just like, I'd rather live in a positive area in my life where I just ignore them and do whatever the fuck I want to do. Because if I don't know, it's just like if I do that, then they're gonna respond, and then I'm gonna have to respond back, and it's gonna be like a whole thing, and it's just gonna ruin my day. I'd rather just do Reddit and just yell at people on Reddit and argue with them, and then just leave them because I don't even know them. If they're people that I actually know, they have the potential to hurt me, and like if they don't hurt me, then other people seeing that are like, wait, I have some dirt on this motherfucker. Let me fuck him up. I just don't want to open up that kind of negativity. That's small PP energy. Anyway, small PP. I have a small PP, and you disrespected me in the past, and now I will take revenge on you. That's my whatever. My Reddit is Hans Kim Comedy. I also have a secret hidden Reddit. That's not that secret. That's not that hidden. But I don't want my comment history to be going out there, so I'm not going to tell you my actual Reddit. But I post with Hans Kim Comedy. I have climbed my sister's really into climbing, and her husband's really into climbing, so I've climbed with them. I love a little climbing sesh, but I wouldn't say I'm good. I've done it before. Thoughts on last week's UFC? UFC. Let's see who fought on last week's UFC. UFC is a combat sport. It's the ultimate combat sport, in my opinion, because it is full of actual things that would work in the real world. I think that before the UFC came around, it was all mysterious. It was like the way we think about religion. Ooh, this fighting camp is the way to go. They know the tiger heart technique. And it was all about convincing people more than actually being good at fighting. And then UFC actually made it a sport and was like, no, this is what you have to do if you want to beat the shit out of someone and murder them. So yeah, I mean, I think the UFC was great. It's science, it's progress, it's the future. Instead of just thinking about fighting, we can actually fight. And if we're doing boxing anyways, why not do actual fighting? But yeah, I mean, I love the UFC. I think it's the future of the sports. What's your favorite race? Probably Hispanics, because they're brown, they're the perfect color, and they're sexy, and yeah, I mean, they just have very good proportions. If 2x minus 4 equals y and 3y plus 2 equals 4x, solve for x. Okay, so that's just divided by 2. Minus 4 equals y, 3 over 2, plus 1 minus 4. 3 over 2 minus 3 equals y. So then minus 3 equals y. So then minus 3 over 2, negative 1 over 2, y equals negative 3. So I would say that it is 6. Y equals 6. And if y equals 6, then x equals 5. 5, 4, 6. 18 plus 2 is 20. Yeah, I did it. Y equals 6, x equals 5, I think, was the answer. So 2x minus 4 equals y, and 3y plus 2 equals 4x. I just did it in my head. No pen and paper necessary because I'm Asian. And this shit, I probably am really rusty. Like if some kid that's actually studying high school algebra was watching this, he could probably do it way faster in his head. But hey, it's pretty good for not having done it in 10 years. That's pretty... I did like tutor SAT and I had to do this shit. But x equals 5 and y equals 6. Yeah, if you don't want to ruin the stream, don't show Asian people math equations. 18. Yeah, I fucking did it. Dude, I'm fucking awesome. 2x minus 4 equals y, and 3y plus 2 equals 4x. The answer is x equals 5 and y equals 6. If there's 2 equations and 2 variables, you can solve it. I just got into Asian doing math. Is this a bit? As always, correct. Great. Cuddy, Stefik. Let's go, Brandon. I got it a couple weeks ago and I can't still. Dude, have you got COVID yet? I did have COVID. I had COVID. I can't really tell you when, but I got over it pretty quick. I'm vaccinated. I got vaccinated in like April was my second dose, and then I got COVID in like pretty soon after that. And it wasn't too bad. I was sick for 2 days and it felt terrible, but I got over it pretty quick, and I think it's because of the vaccine. Do you think the UFC pays fighter less money because they took a loan through the mafia? Yeah, the mafia is called Dana White, who I hope I don't meet now because I said that publicly. But I mean, it's like not his fault. This is just the way that our economy is structured. If you can take all the money, you do, and if you can exploit people, you do. And he's just playing the game the way it's written, and he loves it. And I'm not saying he's blameless, but I mean, you can't really blame him when you have the same thing happening in Walmart, when you have the same thing happening in every company in America. The top guy takes everything, and the people who actually do the work and risk their body get paid nothing. And I think that's unjust. I think that's horrible. And I think the fighters need to get health insurance covered, especially because that's the job, is to get hurt. And then you're going to have way better fights. You're going to have way better fighters. People who are actually dedicating themselves full-time don't have to live with their mom and work a waiter job to fight. And if that happens, then you're going to get a better product. But you're not going to get that short-term profit right away if you get from milking these fighters and treating them like cattle. So, until we have a society that treasures long-term thinking and honors respecting people and not treating people like shit, this is the UFC that we're going to have. And the people at the top, Conor McGregor, Dana White, Fertitta, when he owned it, they're going to make all the money, and then everyone else is going to be fucked, even though they're actually doing the work. So I think that's horrible. Yeah, I like to milk fighters. Who doesn't love to milk a fighter? Imagine how powerful you feel if you can exploit and cheat a UFC fighter and be like, I take money from the toughest men in the world. That's fucking baller shit right there. Most people are exploiting pencil-necked geeks who sit in offices. I exploit the toughest men in the world. That is, that's so fucked. But if you're going to be a capitalist, don't be a pussy. Go try to cheat people who can kick your ass. You ever Steve will do it? Yeah, my friend Riley introduced me to this guy who became rich because he did a bunch of crazy shit on YouTube. Obviously, that's not a stable solution for everyone. We can't all just shove chopsticks up our nose and make an economy based on watching each other fart on each other. But I'm glad that he could do it. I just don't think that's a sign that our system works, but I'm amused by it, obviously. I like living with my mom. There's nothing wrong with living with your mom. It's just like, if you're a UFC fighter, maybe you should have the option to not do that. You milk fighters. Miércoles, says Roger Ruiz. Exploiting intellects is harder than those UFC guys. I think most of them never seen a contract. Yeah, it is easier to exploit illiterate fist bangers, but the risks are higher if you get caught. What's your biggest flaw in your comedic character? I would say my awkwardness, which is like a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because my awkwardness is there's a low ceiling. Like, I can get funny fast by being awkward, but then I plateau. So I would say maybe I would need to learn how to not be so awkward. But then people like Emo Phillips and Mitch Hedberg found a way to be awkward their whole lives. It's just you got to find the truth in your awkwardness and not just doing it out of ego, but out of actual authenticity. You're awkward because that's who you are. How about recording street fights? Put the video on the internet and give the fighters the full revenue. That's fine to make your own little UFC, but the structure already exists. Do you want to make a whole new thing, or do you want to just improve the thing that already exists? I mean, depends on how difficult they're going to make it, but yeah, I mean, that's a good option to create another UFC. Although they're going to make it hard because they have a monopoly and they can buy out all your fighters. And they can say, if you give airtime to this fighting league, then you can't show UFC highlights. So they can make the market not a free market if you have a monopoly and you have power. Yeah, I think you can put that comedically well into sketches. Give it a shot. You're funny. What? Put one into a sketch. It could be that you're awkward, but you think you're totally confident, something like that. UFC stands UFC, but for pegging. pegging championships. There is actually a great pornography that I love to consume called Ultimate Surrender, where people try to fuck each other on a wrestling mat, and sometimes they do girl, sometimes they do girl guy, and I love all of it. This is not a green screen. I'm in Curtis's apartment. This is Curtis's apartment. He has a gym that I need to utilize so my arms don't look so fucking skinny. I'm not in my car anymore. I have access to 3 houses. I have my van. I have Rachel's apartment. And now I have Curtis's. House and his doggy. Refrain from asking false leading questions to our great leader, Hans Kim. Cody Stefik is treating me like I'm Kim Jong-un. And I kind of like it. It's kind of turning me on. Do you play OSRS? No. Don't stop making out with random women. Regret is worse than lupus. Lupus? You don't get lupus from kissing. I think lupus is a genetic thing. It's like an autoimmune thing. I think a lot of women get it because they have to have a strong immune system because they create a little baby inside them. So they need to be able to fight off any infections and bacteria. So their body gets really good at attacking shit, and then it starts attacking itself. Do you prefer house or van? I prefer house, believe it or not. A house is like a van, except larger, more stable, and it isn't on the street. It's off the street. The only reason I live in a van is because I live freely in a van. I don't have to pay money. The economics is the only reason. I don't love diesel. I don't love the smell of tarmac or concrete. I love the freedom. But if we lived in a society that provided housing and food to people, then I wouldn't have to do that. So let me take a gander at the UFC from last whatever. There's my tiny whatever. Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier. I remember watching this fight. I thought Dustin Poirier was going to win. I thought he was doing good. I think Charles Oliveira was better, obviously, because he won. I forget how the fight went down, but I think what happened was I don't remember. I don't want to say anything because I don't fucking remember. But I thought one was a better grappler and one was a better striker, and then they got into grappling exchanges and the grappler won or something. But I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm thinking of another fight. Juliana Pena defeats Amanda Nunes to become the woman bantamweight champion. I thought Amanda Nunes was too cocky. Obviously, she thought that she would just steamroll her like she does every woman because they can't withstand the power. But Juliana Pena, she got dropped a couple times in the first round, and she just was like, I'm still here. I'm not quitting. I'm just going to take these. I signed up for this. I knew what I was getting into. Keep at it. Keep punching me really hard. Let's see how many of these I can take. And Amanda Nunes was like, fuck, this is too much work. I thought this would be easier. Why is she just giving up like everyone else? And then she was like, oh, God, I have to do this for 5 rounds. And I think she got discouraged and like she got tired. And I think it was a mental thing. Obviously, she's a very fit person. But, I mean, you can't even fight, like, 2 rounds in the UFC. I think she definitely could. She was just, like, I think she gassed herself. I think she got too confident. And Juliana Pena was just there for her to be weak and, give up and relent. She was just there when that happened, and she didn't falter. She took it and she exploited her mental weaknesses and she won. And I think that's what makes the UFC so great, is that you can see these things happen in real time and you can see people who are unbeatable get beat because we all have human minds and we all know the pitfalls of the human mind, and we can see it play out in real time. We've all been weak, we've all faltered, and now we see that happen in someone else, and we know roughly what that's like, although not to the degree that they're doing it. They're doing it at the highest level. So it's just good to see struggles that we all go through exaggerated through the UFC. It's good to see someone win against tremendous odds. It's good to see someone be competent and be proficient in what they do and finish off a person that was thought to be unbeatable, and to not falter and not give up and not quit. So you see both. You see the person give up and then another person not give up. The Ryan Hall, Sean O'Malley, typical Sean O'Malley, defeated Raulian Paiva. It was a typical mismatch. Sean O'Malley was way too fast, could not be stopped. He was hitting him at will. That's how he always looks in front of any opponent and almost all the opponents that he fights. He's just like, it's like a white kid. He's like a black kid playing basketball in front of a bunch of white people. He's like really out of everyone's league. That's what he makes other people look like. He's just like juking and jiving, like they can't keep up. They're like, oh, and then you see them just like, what's happening? What's gonna happen next? I don't know. He's just too fast. He's good at hiding his movements. Honestly, I don't know why you guys would want to hear my thoughts on the UFC, but this is what I think. So I'll just say it. I hope that I'm not making myself look like an idiot, because honestly, I don't play UFC. I don't play MMA anymore. I used to a little bit, but yeah, I mean, if you don't do it, then you don't really know what you're talking about, and I don't do it, so I don't really know what I'm talking about. But hey, it's fun to talk shit, right? It's fun to act like I'm not an idiot. So Ryan Hall and Derek Minner was the other fight I saw. And Ryan Hall threatened the legs, but Derek Minner got out of it all the time. Ryan Hall was obviously really good on the ground, but Derek Minner never got submitted. Derek Minner, he did this thing where he just kept going at him in the grappling exchange. And it's like, why are you doing that? Stay on your feet. It's like an ego thing. I think Derek Minner is a wrestler. That's what they were saying in the commentary. And he wants to beat Ryan Hall at his own game. But don't beat him at his own game. Beat him in the sport of MMA. Don't go down on the ground with him if that's his specialty. You beat him by making him play your game. You beat him in MMA. That's what you're doing. You're not like trying to defeat him and take away his soul and crush his testicles and make his children cry. Beat him and win the money. And I don't know. It's just frustrating to watch, because he looked like he was getting the better of him on the feet. And then he just kept going to the ground with him, because he was like, I can defeat you on the ground too, bitch. And he couldn't. But Ryan Hall's amazing on the ground. Such a fun fighter to watch. He's so different. His fucking kicks are getting better. They're dangerous as fuck, and he's slow as shit, so you don't see it coming. He's just standing there, and all of a sudden he like whips his leg out and does like spinning back kicks or whatever. He perfects like one or two strikes, and then he just spams it, which is such a nerdy. He's like a nerd that learned how to fight, and he's just like trying to figure out how to kill these jocks. And as a nerd, I love seeing that. I love seeing intelligence beat out jockish energy. I love Ryan Hall on the ground. He's so creative. He's not in danger in any position. He can spin around and squirrel around. I would like to see him be a little more vicious. I think he's a little too nice. I think like he rolls with too many training partners. As I'm talking out of my ass, but he doesn't want to hurt people. It seems like he's too nice, and I think that he needs to, like, when he's like mounted someone or has someone's back, he needs to fucking elbow the shit out of their head. He needs to like fuck them up and like make them weep and make their children cry. I don't think he has enough of that in him yet. And maybe he doesn't need it. Like, it'd be impressive if he could become the champion and get on top of the UFC by not hurting anyone. Like the peaceful UFC fighter who never had to hurt anyone. He's such a nice little guy who defeated everyone physically, but didn't leave a scratch on them. I think that'd be hilarious. Just like hey guys, I now that I'm the champion, I want everyone just to be nice to each other. After you strike someone, I want you to say 3 nice things about them. And I think like he could make the UFC like a nicer place, I guess, which would be nice. Did I see Louis' new special? No, not yet. I want to. I'm excited about it. Um, I think it'd be fun to watch. I honestly am not that big a special a fan of Louis. Um, Thanks, Hans Kim. I just won a Halo tournament match while listening to you. See, that's the kind of winners that are in my chat are Halo tournament winners, tournament match winners. So I'm glad that I could distract you while you were trying to do something. I imagine if you were totally concentrating on the Halo, then it'd probably be even better. Why does evil prevail on earth? Why does evil prevail on earth? Because most people are afraid of dying, and they would rather not die, so they let evil persist so that they can continue to live. I'm not in the van. I'm in my friend's house that I'm house sitting for him while he's away on vacation, Curtis. I have 3 houses right now: the van, Rachel's apartment, and Curtis's house now. So it's I went from no home to 2 homes. So in some ways, I'm more homed than most of you. Since YouTube isn't showing dislikes anymore, Shab is going to drop his next special there. I mean, Shab is a very controversial figure, but I think that he's a meathead, and people love to shit on meatheads, but, I think he can take it. I think he's a great, we need all types. We don't just need Ryan Hall. We also need Brendan Schaub, be straight up murderer at the Comedy Store. Peace from the Middle East. Keep your peace, dude. You need it there. We got enough peace here. Until the next riots happen. I want to watch the new Louis special. I will if it's free. I don't pay for media. It's just this thing that I do. I try to get everything for free. I think I'm entitled to it. I'm a spoiled millennial. It's my way of fighting the whatever. But I do want to watch it just because he's a lot of people's favorite comedian, and I respect their opinion. I just don't really like him myself because I think that he is, he's like, I think he puts too much stank on the setups where he is like, and it's just like, I don't know, it makes me feel gross watching him. It feels very self-indulgent sometimes. Yeah, I know it's a $10 self-produced special, but I ain't paying it, but I'll try to watch it. I mean, at least I'm watching it. Would you rather have me not pay and not watch, or not pay and watch? At least if I watch, then I am imparted with your wisdom and your words, and I can go around spreading the whatever, spreading the ideas that you had. Louis C.K. made me laugh harder. I just feel like he's like too comfortable being gross. I wish that he would try harder to not be so gross, but I think that he's great at what he does, and a lot of people love that part of him because that speaks to a lot of people. It's just like not my type of comedy, and it's not like I hate him. It's like because everyone loves him so much, the fact that I don't grovel at his feet is like interesting to me, that I don't really think of him the same way as other people, but I'm sure it's just a taste thing because like people that love him fucking love the shit out of him. I think that him getting canceled during the Me Too thing was ridiculous. I think the Me Too movement had a lot of negative energy attached to it, and I think that women think that they can just be as shitty as they want because they're so beautiful, and I think that it's not the best mentality to just love your gender, because your gender is not something you can control, and it's not something that you worked on. And if you find your identity in your gender, I think you're going to be a very shallow, dumb person, because it's just mostly hormones and genitals. I think that there should be more than just your basic instincts and your genetics. I think what you can make of yourself is better than your genetics, and you shouldn't celebrate your genetics and your gender. I think that there should be more. Sorry that I hate the Me Too movement, and thus I hate women, but that's just how I feel. Greetings from Sydney, Australia. Thank you, Leon. Thank you for the Australian $10. I hope that you can save some money so that you can fight your lockdown protests in Australia. Those look pretty crazy. Incelry, says Secondhand Sampler. I don't like Louis C.K. either. Yeah, I mean, I like to make fun of race. But race is cool because it makes you fall in line with people that think like you, and everyone decides to think the same way. I mean, it's Australian $10, and YouTube takes like 30% or something ridiculous. So that's why I always suggest Venmo, but it's just like an extra step. People like being able to just press that button and give, and thank you. I appreciate anything from anyone, really. What's a conspiracy theory you believe is true? I think the CIA killed John F. Kennedy. I think the powers that be killed John F. Kennedy because he was going to make the world a better place. Whose house did you break into? Curtis's house. He's going to be the new general manager or something at the new Rogan Club. So, I'm staying in his house, and I hope that I can stay in the club when it opens up. Maybe I can live there. That would actually be awesome. But no, I'm kidding, of course. I wouldn't want to live at Joe Rogan's new club, because then that would make the whole place feel gross. Like, oh, someone lives here. I wouldn't want my presence and my stinky Asian armpits to stink up the new, beautiful, shining jewel in the artistic scene of this new art scene that Joe Rogan is creating. So I'm just kidding. But if I could, that'd be fucking dope. Oh, there's a dog. You see the dog? He's over there. Wherein is the Rogan Club going to E completed? Probably when you learn to not spell incorrectly. It was Jackie O. Jackie O killed Kennedy. She did a behind the back. She was like on tape too, which is impressive. Probably won't let Koreans in his new club. Joe Rogan loves Korean. He's a Taekwondo champion. Taekwondo. Can you give us a crib tour of that refrigerator? I don't want to give a tour of a house that's not mine. Were you ever worried about STD when making out with all those women? What STD? Mono? I mean, herpes is not, if you can see it coming, and also everyone already has it or whatever. But I mean, I guess herpes is the worst one, but it's not like that big a deal. No, honestly, I think most people are clean, and that you shouldn't tell yourself that people are gross, because that's a bad way to look at people, and it prevents you from making out with them furiously on live YouTube. So I love the fucking kisses, and I think that it's great that we can celebrate kissing and love each other, and I think we should do more of that. Are you able to see dislikes still on your end? I can see percentages, I think. I don't know. I haven't really sought it out. I don't like to look at those numbers too much, even though I do watch it too much. Kill Tony will move to that new club, I think. I honestly don't know. Like the guy gal you look up to, if heat rises, why does the sun set? Because the earth is rotating, and there is no up or down in space. Is there a dish that you think you cook the best? Ribs. Someone redacted a message. Please, if someone redacts a message, re-message that, because I want to see. And run pooch phrasing. What's the point of smoking weed while someone is high on acid? Maybe you want to join them in highness, or maybe I don't know. I don't know. Just because someone's on acid doesn't mean I love sobriety. Do you know what made me so wise? Probably being 32, and also not uh, not putting any of my intellect in the existing infrastructure. The existing intellectual infrastructure in our society is there to distract you, to compromise you. Religion is there to compromise you intellectually, to make your conscious mind more like your subconscious mind. School is there to fuck up your brain. Um, what are your thoughts on UFO, UAP? UAP? I don't know about UAP. Why don't I AP? Um, but yeah, I mean, I would say just like not going down the grooved paths of intellectual pursuits that exist in our society, because I think a lot of that is corrupt. You do have to use some paths. I would say Joe Rogan has really helped me think and look at the world in a different light. I love the way that he has a penchant for the truth and he can feel it out. Okay, if Redman says KT's moving to the new club, then I believe him. I think I still have COVID brain. Oh, that's too bad. I mean, I've done so much crazy drugs and gone into so many headbangers in my life that COVID is the least of my concern. Probably like all the acid I did is probably having a bigger impact on my brain right now. But yeah, I mean, if I could do all that shit, COVID's not that big a deal. I mean, it is a thing, but I've had bad trips before. You just gotta will yourself out of it. Just start hucking. Get all that blood out of your head. Hans, tell us your latest conquest, since this video used a kissing screenshot. Oh, last Monday was quite a Monday for me. So after the show, I went up to the patio, and there was a couple that had gone on Kill Tony that day. That comes out in 2 weeks. And they had both gone on separately. The woman was there. The man was there. The man said nice things to me. The woman was also said nice things to me. And then I was like, hey, can I make out with you? It's kind of my thing. I kind of make out with people. And I kind of want to do it with you. No offense, man. We want to record it. And then he was like, yeah, I'll record Hans Kim making out with my girlfriend. And so then I passionately made out with this dude's girlfriend in a very sexual way. And then he was like, all right. And then he ended it. And then I was like, why don't you guys kiss and I'll record you. Now I have a video on my phone of a couple kissing. So I don't really know what to do with that. I should send it to them because I know them on Instagram. But and then later in the night, I met the Montgomery sisters, who are these two redheads that sat in the front row of the show. And then I was talking with them. We were vibing. We were chatting. And then they were like, let's take a picture. Let's take a picture. And then I had them on either side of me. And then I was like, oh, it's like kind of my thing. Like, I like kiss people. You want to do this little kissing thing? And then I kissed one, and then I kissed the other. And then later that night, this girl I had talked to earlier at the bar at the Kill Tony was like, what are you doing? I want to come over. And I was like, I'm here. You should come over. Here's the address. Here. And then she came over, and then I touched her butt. And then I tried to kiss her, and then she pushed me away. And she's like, you're being so naughty. And then we went to the kitchen. I touched her butt some more. And then we sat down, and then I touched her leg, and then I touched her pussy. And she was like, stop, you're being so naughty. And then we just held hands, and I put my hand on her thigh, and then I held hands, and then she went to leave, and then I touched her butt some more. And then I kissed her. But then it was like a little kiss, stop kind of kiss. So, and then I walked her out, grabbed her butt, and kissed her some more. One of those pecking kisses. And that was my night. So no sexual thing, but it was pretty sexual, the kisses. So I had fun. It was the best I could have done without having put my dick into anything. So sometimes it's like fun to sometimes it's fun to I don't know what I was gonna say. Hans is definitely gonna get sued. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't care. It was all consensual, and I think this over obsession with consensuality is just an American obsession with individuality, and like what we really want changes and is fluid depending on the situation. And I didn't do anything that would be a crime. And if you think so, then I feel bad for you. And this is probably why we have less sex than any other generation, is because we respect individual liberty too much. And I would love to have some of my individual liberty taken away so that I could fuck. Yeah, I mean, if you want to over-legislate every part of the human experience, then you're going to fuck yourself. So go ahead and do that to me, but you're only shooting yourself in the foot. Not everything is consensual or whatever. Cody Stefik, the Hans Kim militia is growing with each sunrise and nightfall you have blessed us with. As general, I urge others to donate or spread the word of our leader with our local community. Hail Hans. It makes me feel like I'm like a Cobra commander. Yell like William Montgomery about guns. Guns. I got 2 guns. I'm going to get some tissue. I mean, the best part of being a human is like being with other people and not being yourself, but being something larger than yourself. And I think if you're always just trying to be yourself, then you can never transcend yourself and be better than yourself. And that's sad that you always have to be stuck in your shitty little brain and your shitty little mind. Yeah, so I think that it's like such a shitty way to be like, no, what I say is the law, and if you disobey me, then you're going to jail. I think that's like really toxic mentality, and I think that we should be able to be a part of something larger than ourselves and not just be focused on our preconceived ideas of who we are, but be able to change and adapt to the situation. And I think a lot of people can't do that. And I think a lot of Americans are incapable of being a part of something larger than themselves. And that they are not good to be in relationships with because they only think about themselves and about their journey and are incapable of thinking about your journey or our journey. So, yeah, it's a bit of a problem, our society. We have reached the end of individualism and we are decaying. Individualism is a false goal. LOL, who hurt you? I don't know. Check out all the Kill Tonys. How do you think psychedelics has changed your perspective on life? What do you think you would be missing out on if you never did psychedelics again? The good thing about psychedelics is that if you don't do any drugs, you're just on this one brain state. If you do psychedelics, then you're in this other brain state, and then you can observe your brain state from another point of view. And the more psychedelics you do and the more experiences you have, I mean, it doesn't have to be psychedelics, it can just be life experiences, but the more different states of mind that you can occupy, the more that you can inform your sober state of mind, and you can adopt other states of mind. And if you can adopt other states of mind, then you can choose the state of mind that you find most beneficial to your life instead of just adopting a state of mind that you happen to be born in. And it's easier to observe what's going on and to criticize things about yourself if you're not so invested and, taking your one state of mind as yours and that nothing can change it. So that's what I think is great about that. The last Other People episode, there was no sound in. I think the Zoom H6 wasn't plugged in all the way, and the sound, only 2 mics were picking up, the other 2 wasn't. Hey, Hans Hitler or Mao? Yeah, I mean, if you think that I am like a mass murderer, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's pretty easy to avoid, in my opinion, is to not be a terrible, terrible person. I think that what's harder to avoid is a coup by the U.S. government staged in your home country. So I think the best thing about psychedelics is that it let me criticize my state of being and my mind, and so improve, because now I'm not invested in that state of mind. That's not who I am. That's just who I am when I'm sober. That's who I am when I'm bored. And now I can adopt other states of mind. I haven't governed, so I have no idea what I would do. I might become a murderer and kill a bunch of people. I mean, if you're in charge of the country, you're gonna kill people. Like, even Obama killed people, Biden's killing people, Bush definitely killed people, Trump definitely killed people. It's like you gotta break a couple eggs if you decide, hey, we're gonna build a couple housing projects over here. You're gonna kill like maybe a construction worker, or maybe like someone who's house was there is gonna be killed because now they have to move and they get really sad and they die of depression. But then you're gonna save 70 lives, so it's all like a game. And then like you just have to make sure that the pros outweigh the cons. But then like sometimes people get a little free-form jazz with that kind of calculations, and they're like, well, these people don't need any food. They were not nice to me, and if you're not nice to me, then this whole thing falls apart. So I would just treat it like Sim City and not have so much ego about it like Stalin did. I would just be like, how do you make the best country? I don't want to fucking, whatever. Let's just fucking get everything working. Let's get the ports open. Let's have no traffic. Let's have like, just fucking figure it out. I don't know. I don't think it's that hard to run a country. I think it's all that old bullshit. All that king and queen and billionaire bullshit that everyone was playing in the past. And I think we have a more aware and psychedelically influenced population now. And I think we can do a lot better than those old fucking farts who were just coming out of the Industrial Revolution, those cavemen. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of confidence to have. So maybe yeah, I don't know. It's probably, until I get there, I can't really do anything but speculate. So I don't know what you want me to do. X equals 6, y equals 5. I think it was x equals 5, y equals 6. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Sure you got it backwards. How did I date pre-Kill Tony? I went to open mics and comedy shows and try to fuck people that thought I was funny. I think that there's not enough sex happening, and I think that it's like so fucked up that everyone thinks that sex is gross and that they're better than everyone else, and they don't fuck anyone because they think that it's like whatever. Hans, you're the definition of a caveman. You can only say old people bad. I mean, that's not what caveman said. Caveman said, Groot is kind. I mean, I wish I could say old people not bad, but then you look at history and their track record, and it's not that great. I'm not judging them for being old. I'm judging them for their actions, which we can observe. Yeah, I mean, in city skylines, you can play with traffic and get it to be better. So how many CIA agents do you think you have? Probably 0. The system is very good at neutralizing threats. They do it with lots of different methods, mostly economic and financial, and by making you have kids early so that you can't do anything with your life. You had a great callback. I just don't think that the numbers were right. But yeah, the idea was there. So like I'm talking about something political and complicated, and you're like, basically x equals 6, or x equals 5 and y equals 6. I don't know history. Well, that's a bummer. I thought I did. You're not into sex. I wish I was into sex. Yeah, it'd be the FBI. I don't know if the FBI has any agents on me. Why would you need an agent? I guess just to watch the YouTube videos of me talking about getting pegged. How does one have thick skin? Don't be an old white woman. I lost way too many hours to city skylines. I wish I could play. I don't know how to do it. Does being on Kill Tony get you laid a bunch? I mean, it got me laid a decent amount. But so far, no takers. Let me check. Yep, no one wants to fuck me. It's crazy because if anyone wanted to fuck me, they could. They just don't. They just don't. And I think that just comes down to, they don't want to fuck. A lot of people don't want to fuck. They are too traumatized. It's too fragile. They're too fragile. They don't want to risk anything by fucking. Is the background green screen? No, this is a real kitchen. This is my friend Curtis's house, who's going to be the new general manager at the new Rogan Club. Do what Buffalo Bob did. Sew one together from rotund women. I'm not a seamstress. I don't want to have a decaying corpse in my house. I would rather be alone. That's what's so awesome, is that being alone is so fun. And it's just great. If you love being alone, then you'll never hurt anyone. I don't care about people enough to sew them together. I wish I cared enough that I would sacrifice my sanity and my morality and go out on 6th Street or a bar and just try to talk to people and get my feelings hurt, and go out there again and talk to idiots who don't really respect me or know me. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to take that risk of my sanity and my self-esteem to go out and talk to people. But yeah, maybe I think I'm better than people, and so I don't fuck them. But honestly, I would fuck a lot of people. I just don't want to go through the process of talking to the idiots who are going to be hurtful because they think they have a right to be vicious and mean because I'm trying to take sex away from them, and sex is a precious resource that you have to use to make money in capitalist America. A. Fox really hates me. You are an emotional vampire. Well, unfortunately, I can't be invited in unless you invite me in. So if you invite me in, then I will do whatever I have to do to feel good while I'm inside your house. Is Elon Musk lying about how declining birth rates will be humanity's undoing, so our government will lower the age of consent? I don't think that lowering the age of consent will help us fuck more. There's plenty of fuckable people. We don't have to fuck children. There's plenty of adults that we can fuck. So I think that the real problem is wealth inequality, and that the problem isn't that we're not fucking enough children. I think that Elon Musk needs to spread the wealth, that he is not that inventive, that there are real inventors who need that money. It's already 15. Do you think it matters where you live to be successful in comedy? Yes, it matters very much where you live. It matters how much money you have. It matters who your parents are, what your financial situation is, what your family situation is. All of that matters. I was born into a rich family. I had a lot of free time. I didn't have any kids because I was roundly rejected by fertile females. I had not too many distractions, and I had access to open mics. So I did a lot of comedy, and then I moved to New York to do even more. I just love comedy and doing everything. Hans is greater than Hitler. Afro Man has a song about it. Come to Thailand. I would love to. Do I own Bitcoin? No, I think it's a Ponzi scheme. I think that we should actually use Bitcoin instead of just speculating on it. Go to bed. It's 9:21. I have a show at 11. I'm not a fucking office worker. I have a nocturnal schedule. My time in mechanical engineering can be described as fruitful and vociferous and lugubrious. My time in mechanical engineering was, I did a lot of school. I learned equations, how to apply it, when to apply this equation over that equation, how to use that equation, and how to find the derivative of whatever. And it was really interesting. I really enjoyed it because I don't know. I'm interested in that kind of shit about how the world works and how you can describe shit with equations. I think that's awesome. And then you go to get a job in mechanical engineering, and it's nothing of that sort. It's not equations. All that shit is in a computer, anyways. Most of it is like managing workers, I think, or doing AutoCAD. I actually don't know because I didn't get a job in it. But it's not a lifestyle that I wanted. I didn't want to sit in an office all day and make Caterpillar or John Deere more money. I didn't want to live a life as a cubicle worker. I wanted to be a comedian or a rock star. And as an ugly man, the only rock star status available is as a comedian or like, I don't know, like a DJ. So yeah. So then so I did school for 4 years. I got suspended for 1 semester for shoplifting at a Target. And then I finished in 4 years, even though I did math for my first year. And then I switched majors, so I had a lot of extracurricular activities to do. Um, and then I got a job as an intern, getting paid minimum wage at Grenzebach, which makes roller conveyors that are then used to make solar panels and glass. So I was making roller conveyors. They really didn't assign me much work. I guess they didn't trust me or anything. They didn't really give me a chance. I was falling asleep on the first day because I had just flown in the day before. And I guess it was just the wrong message. That's the thing I hate about jobs. It's all about like fucking perception and like what they think of you. Because then the guy that got the internship after me said that he was busy. He had a lot of work. It's like I was able to do. They didn't even give me a chance. They didn't give me a shot. So I was like, fuck you guys. I don't want to play this game where I have to like pretend like I'm like some sort of person. Just give me a chance. Let me see if I can do the work. I don't want to do it the way that you do it. Let me do it the way that I do it. And if I do good work, then that should be all that matters. But it's not about that. It's about like showing that you think the same or something. I just got the lineup. There was a shootout at the theater I was watching Spider-Man at, says my friend Gareth. Welcome to America. I think the shootout is a symptom of like we don't own anything in our society. Millennials have 5% of the GDP. I think that since we don't own anything, we resort to sorry. So because we don't own anything, the only thing we can do is threaten each other and have own people. That's what mobsters are. They're just using the resource that is people. Because if you don't have any other resources, you're stuck with people. So these are just like gang members fighting over turf or perceived insults, trying to use the resource of people. And I think that if we owned more of the economy, if these people were like part of the sewage or trash collectors or doing some meaningful work and making an impact in society, they wouldn't feel the need to make an effort in fucking people up. And I just think we don't have a purpose, so we fucking shoot each other to fuck each other up, because that's more of a purpose than going to McDonald's and doing nothing in it, being like a cheaper version of a robot. So I think that we need to be given more of the economy, or else we will resort to violence. And it's not a threat, it's an observation. It's what people do. If we don't have our purpose, we make our own. I'm not tripping. I think this is the inevitable conclusion of not giving people a seat at the table of the economy. What is your favorite non-Korean Asian food? Probably jjajangmyeon or hey Fox, you're about to get banned. What is your favorite non-Korean Asian food? Probably General Tso's or something. Like, you're on bath salts, you're not making sense. You don't think that you don't, okay. Bath salts are uppers? Yeah, I'm definitely not on uppers. I mean, I don't think that we own enough of the economy to incentivize us to work better, to be good people. If you're giving us 5% of the GDP, what are we gonna do? We're just, if you make everyone, if if you just make everyone work at McDonald's, then what are we supposed to do? We're just supposed to be happy with that. We're just supposed to be happy going to a cubicle, doing nothing, wasting our time browsing Reddit all day. You know, it's just like, it's like not enough. We can't be satisfied with that. The human mind, the human spirit longs for more than just menial labor. And if that's all you give us, we'll find our own meaning. And you know, like, we aren't given enough of the economy. The economy is held back from us, and we can't get more of it through the means that are legal or approved of. So, if you leave us no choice, then we will try to get it through any means necessary. I mean, think about your friends and all the jobs that they do, and all the people that you know that are 20 and 30 years old. They're doing nothing. They're fucking delivery drivers. They're waiters. This is not them being lazy. This is not them being stupid. This is just the choices. This is what we have available for us. We can change the levers in society and make a better society, and make one that gives us options to be better people and have better jobs. People can work hard. Working hard is easy. Choosing what you work hard at is where you should actually spend more of your energy thinking about. I don't think that my friends who work in the service industry, which is like pretty much all of them, or who have cubicle jobs, are lazy or stupid. I think that they're not given the right choices. And if everyone is fucking up and making the wrong choices, it's not everyone's fault. It's the choices that they're presented with. They're doing the best they can. They're rational actors in society. So we need to change the numbers and the choices that they're given. And we don't have a free society. We don't have a society that emphasizes and exaggerates and highlights and utilizes our potential to our fullest. We have a society that actively tries to make us less than we are. I am a baseball umpire by choice. I'm glad that you're doing that. I hope that other people can also make that choice, and judging by the numbers, they aren't doing that. Okay, Hans, this is so boring that I'm actually getting the comedic effect. Now this is hilarious. Okay, dude. If it's boring, I don't really care. I don't respect your intellect or your taste. So I'm sorry that this is boring to you, but I am having a blast. People just need to stop saying that they can't. You turn off your brain with that word. I'm not saying I can't. I'm saying that I can't through the normal methods and means that are provided to us. I can by going outside the system and and fighting against the way things are right now, but you want to fight within the system. You want to just do whatever is already laid out. And I think that's boring. I don't think that works. I don't think that just being really good at being a cubicle worker is an ability that is impressive or it will yield results. I think that just work within the system, just work really hard at McDonald's, and soon you'll own a McDonald's. How many McDonald's owners do you know worked their way into that or have got that resources or capital because they were really good at being a burger flipper? They got it because their family already had money or they got it through some other means, and then they're getting fucked by McDonald's. So I don't think that saying that the system is fucked is defeatist. I think judging emotions and being like, oh, you should always think positively, I think that's how you get fucked. Oh, the guy that owns, that's your boss, he's always gonna, you can't change that. Just don't change the top, just change what you do. I think instead we should fight the system and create a better one and replace it instead of just being lazy and leaving the system as it is. I think it's lazy to not work hard to change the world that we were given. It's easy to just be like, this is the way it is, just work within it, don't change anything about it. I think it's hard to change it, and I'm willing to do that hard work. I would work my ass off to change the system. I would do zero work to help this system continue. And I haven't had a job in forever because I don't want to be a part of this. How should we as a society create better options for younger people? Emphasizing their talents, making sure that they're not just sitting in class, taking notes and reading and watching other people do bullshit. I think if someone shows an interest in violin, hey, you don't have to fucking, learn all the other bullshit. You can just focus on that. Here's some great violin players to hang out with. If you find an interest in plumbing or working with your hands, you should be taught that, and you should be emphasized that. When in history were there better options for young people? Probably in hunter-gatherer times. Probably other times. I don't know. I know in Korea there was a lot of like taking the civil exam. That was a big thing. It's bullshit, but I think that like in medieval ages, if you were good at farming, you could be a farmer. If you were good at blacksmithing, you could be a blacksmith. Right now, people just fuck your shit up and make you do bullshit work. Yeah, I'm still playing within the system by living in a van and doing comedy. This isn't the system. I've done as much as I could to be out of the system. I think that it's idiotic to just be like, this is the way it is. Don't change it. Just work really hard like a cattle, like fucking a cow. I think it's much more difficult to change the whole world. And I think you are lazy if you don't want to do that. I think you are scared and you just want to live a nice, pleasant, hedonistic life. And that is not our lot in life. We're millennials. Even if we play by the rules, we're going to live in an apartment forever. So if that's the other side, like who gives a fuck? Let's fucking do something with their lives. It's better to, go out as a warrior than live your whole life as a fucking peasant. But that's just me. And I know that a lot of you are too scared to do anything about the world that you live in. No one can change the world. Yeah, why don't you tell that to Martin Luther King Jr. or the French Revolution or World War II or Hitler or Obama? We are the only people that can change the world. We exist right now. The only people that exist in physical reality right now are us, and we have the power to change. We can move this brick from here to there. We can move this fucking truck from there to here. We have the power, and no one else can do it for us because they don't exist. What you say bounces off me and sticks onto you. God damn it. How did you do that, dude? You fucking got me. But yeah, I mean, why not have a revolution? You're afraid that you'll die? I mean, who gives a shit? I mean, that's the thing. Is like if we're all like only focused on our individual lives, and you're only worried about like making the best for yourself, then obviously it makes no sense to have a revolution. But I think that if you're looking at the larger picture and you want something better for the human race, then your life becomes very easy to sacrifice. And I don't think that's a very good answer either. But I don't think that complacency and malaise is good. And I think that's what we're plagued with more than the desire to change the world at whatever sacrifice it takes for me. But yeah, I obviously don't want to die for the cause. If I was presented with that option, I don't know what I'd choose. But who knows? Are you a proponent to return to monk philosophy? Do you believe in moral relativism? I don't really know what those words mean. Monk philosophy, moral relativism. I think morality is pretty innate, and I think we should just figure it out on our own. Eating off the government cheese. Yes, communism is available. You just have to go out and take it. I think the burn it all down mentality is dangerous. Obviously, we don't have to burn it all down, but why is any change or improvement in the system classified as burn it all down? So yeah, I mean, one of my favorite books is Sex at Dawn. Another one of my favorite books, Sex at Dawn, is all about how people back in the hunter-gatherer days were better than us because they were healthier and they knew how to do shit and figure it out. So yeah, I mean, I think it's great that we're all chilling here, and we have like a lot of fun all the time. I find that most people I don't like to talk to at bars and stuff. I like to actually do a lot of different things. Christopher Ryan, I think it's just better to be in another place. Don't be so sure your plan will work out. I think that we need to change the system, and we could be self-conscious about it, but I'd like to change it. I don't think not changing it is good. I don't think just like keeping it the way it is the best. So I'm on the show at 11. It's 9:40 right now. I probably should leave at 10:30. So I have like a couple more minutes. You can find people at bars to have deep conversations with. Few and fart between though. Exactly. I totally agree with you. And it's like, I'd rather have deep relationships than a lot of shallow ones. Do you deal with a lot of racism? Nope, not really. I don't think so. I deal with more class struggles and racism. This is not a van. This is my friend Curtis's house. He's letting me stay here while he's on vacation. I have access to 2 houses now and 1 van. If more than half our society was disciplined and striving for a healthy lifestyle, do you think that would change the system, considering the system is built to keep us dead inside? Yeah, I think that if we all fucking got it together and became amazing people, it would be useless because our system is designed to not find any use in people and to preserve the existing wealth structure. Smoking a blunt for you, Hans. Stay high, my man. Thanks, Bruns. That's so nice. I would love to smoke a blunt. I miss deep conversation with people at the bar. Hard to come by these days. Yeah. I mean, it's so politically charged. Everyone has their beliefs and stuff. Soul. I like Soul. I think that he's secretly a neocon. I think that he serves the interest of the powers that be. He blames black people for their problem. I don't think black people are to blame. I think that the people in power are to blame. I think that is whatever. Later, bro. See ya, Jonathan Hunt. The live chat thing you are doing is what Twitch streamers make a living doing. That's what I'm trying to do. Maybe I should do it on Twitch, but I don't have an audience there, and so it's like it's fun to chat with people. So I do it on YouTube. I don't know how to transfer this to Twitch, but if I could, I would, because I don't really trust YouTube. I don't like YouTube. Web3, it literally embodies your values and ethos and is working to change the financial rails of the world. I don't want to like sign up for like a thing. I don't need to have my ideas be incorporated into another organization. I think we just need to fucking all shout out our opinions, and then that fucking soup of ideas will be awesome, and then people can figure out whatever they want to believe. But I don't know what not ignoring Web3 looks like. Would you ever consider a celebrity boxing match? Well, first I have to become a celebrity. But boxing match, yeah, I mean, I'm a human. I'm a dumb animal. I would love to physically engage in combat. I don't know if that would be the best choice for my head. But maybe a celebrity MMA match, because MMA is more my speed, because it's more fucking awesome. I have it enough today. Dank Shorts. Dank Shorts is embodying Asian mother energy right now. Have you eaten today? You look so skinny. Have you heard of the passing of the prolific DJ and producer Charles the Fist? Maybe Charles the Fist. As an outspoken and insidiously in psychedelic culture, you should check him out. I think you'd enjoy. Thank you. Hanskin versus Ryan Katsu Riviera. I don't know Ryan Katsu Riviera. I hope I'm bigger than him. You should put on a video of your BJJ sparring session. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to be that vulnerable to show people what I look like when I'm rolling around the ground in a pajama with another man. Because it shows you a side of my asshole that I really don't want out there on the internet. But maybe I will. Maybe I'll live stream me trying to choke someone. Hans, if you were starting in comedy in Austin, where would you begin? Probably the Creek and the Cave is where I would begin. It's a cool place. It's a nice place. Okay. I think I'm done. Thank you guys so much, and I love you. Please have a good night, and suck on some clits and or the prostate or clit. All right, see ya.